Alright guys, thank you once again for joining me in the workshop, and what we're going to do today. So initially I had said that I was going to make some new tongs because they're like my nemesis as far as making things. I'm not really good at it. I need to work on it, need to refine my skills at doing it. So I was going to do that. I was going to make like 1 or 2 pairs of tongs, but I'm really low on propane. I'm really low on steel, and I'm trying my best to social distance. So with the corona pandemic and everything that we've got going on here. So I thought of another idea that would be appropriate for the situation. So again, times of need, you're low on something, you need resources, you don't have them. So what can you do? In the case of forging, what I can do, I'm low on propane. What's my next alternative? Coal. I can go to a coal forge. I don't have one anymore, but I can make one relatively easily. And that is what this video is going to show you how to do. So I'm going to show you some materials. I already have them kind of broken down because I didn't know how I was going to do it, so I was looking at other materials and stuff. There's many ways that you can do this. There's a lot of different ways to do it. I'm going with the base of a fan, like a standing fan. I'm going to go with the base of that. It already had like a flange tube going up to it, so it's kind of like the perfect shape and perfect setup already. So I'm going to use that. So this is the dish, and it's not super thick metal. You want pretty thick metal when you do this. So this is not ideal, but it'll definitely do the job for at least a little while, and we'll go from there. So there's that. There's the flanged piece that goes to the bottom of that. So basically I'm just taking a standing fan and flipping it upside down. I can hook a blower onto this end of this tube, and basically I'm just going to weld that flange on, weld this over it, and then bam, forge. That's that. So in the case of this build, we're going to need a few tools. So we're definitely going to need, I've got my angle grinder with a cutoff wheel, I've got my impact screwdriver, I'm going to have my I've got my welder, because I'm going to weld a few of these things here. So I got my welding mask, my welder. If you don't have those things, don't worry, you can still do this without that, but it's just going to be more difficult. I made, originally when I first started, I made one out of bricks, and a piece of like a EMT conduit basically just ran into the bricks to blow into took my blower onto. You can do this with a hole in the ground, so it's not complicated. You don't have to make it super complicated and overthink it. You can make these really simple designs that work really well and are functional. My other idea was to cut this old fire extinguisher in half and use that. I'm not going to do that. It would make a really good one, and if I have to make another one, that's probably how I'll do it, but I don't need to. So I'm going to show you this super simple design that you can build yourself very easily in these troubling times. So one issue that I need to overcome is attaching the blower to my tube. This doesn't fit very well. So, and this is an air mattress pump. So this is an air mattress pump. You don't have to use this. You can use a variety of other things. You can use a hair dryer. I used a hair dryer when I started out, and it worked fine. Now this tube fits right in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this down a little bit because it's a little bit too long. I'm going to cut off a piece of this non-painted tubing and put them in there, and I'm going to weld them together and see how it works. I almost forgot my my safety goggles. So I got those cut. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this edge up a little bit, give me a surface to weld on, and then we're going to weld these two little sections together, and then we'll be doing we'll do the attachment of the flange to the pan there. So here we go. Alright, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you that I'm a good welder, because if you've seen any of my other stuff, you know that I'm a terrible, terrible welder. But that being said, I think we got this covered. This is a quick little small weld. I'm going to try to do the best I can, so we'll see how it goes. Alright, so that is the nasty weld I got that I burnt through the metal in some spots even, so I'm going to grind that up a little bit, clean it up, and we'll keep going. So it's not pretty, but we've got a viable weld. So now, because I don't want little bits of charcoal and stuff falling through down into my tube and clogging it, I'm not gonna drill this out all the way. What I'm gonna do is drill small holes throughout here, and then when I weld the flange on, it should be nice and like a sieve kind of. So. That should be fine. Clean up the flange. Cutting this collar off. So I just noticed it's got a little rubber sleeve inside, and like that's kind of what keeps it on. So I don't need it. So we're just gonna take it off. It's the only downside of that this little flux core welder. It spatters everywhere, and it doesn't really, I don't know, maybe I just suck at it, which I'm pretty sure I do, but I can't ever get like a consistent bead flowing through, so, but it'll work. I can see that my holes line up like so. Yeah, it's coming together. So alright, now the critical step of attaching the blower to the tube. This is perhaps the most delicate step of all. You'll see why. I'm glad that's over. That part had me nervous. Alright, let's see if she works. Alright, well, it definitely is blowing very well. So let's see if I'm going to throw a little bit of charcoal in it and see what I can do. Which brings me to another interesting fact. So there are many different kinds of coal that you can use. If you're in a pinch though, and you can't get blacksmithing coal or good coke, you can use charcoal. I find it works better though with like hardwood charcoal. This is hardwood lump charcoal. So I'm gonna put some of this in here. We'll get a little fire started. And I'll show you how it goes. I think I just burned out the motor on the pump. We'll try something different. Okay, we're back in the game. Alright, so now I'm going to prove to you, not that you doubted me, but I'm going to prove to you that this can be done with charcoal and extremely, extremely basic materials. Here we go. There are a couple of challenges with this method. Charcoal is a lot different than propane for sure. Actual charcoal is definitely different from like blacksmith's coal as well. This stuff burns up really fast, but like you can see, you can achieve forging temperatures really easily. It's actually heating up quite quickly. It's probably heating up faster than my propane forge, which is kind of scary. Not sure how I feel about my burner now. But, so these simple forges work really, really well. If you don't have a lot of money to spend on a propane forge or anything like that, you can make these for next to nothing. I made this with stuff I have laying around at my house. I had a broken fan that I was throwing away, and I just went and grabbed it before I threw it away. So, you know, a lot can be done. Alright, so look, I made a little leaf keyring. not my best one. I was kind of going fast and trying to just kind of rush. But as you can see, the forge performed very well. I didn't have any issues with it, except for the first blower screwing up. I burned out the motor on it almost immediately. But and that blower was actually a little bit too strong for my liking. I actually like this hair dryer more. It's actually the hair dryer that I used when I first started forging. So again, that's, you know, I was kind of thinking about what video I was going to do today, and I really was running out of ideas, and I didn't have the material or the propane to do what I wanted to do. So I thought that, you know, given the circumstances, with us being in a time where, you know, things are, resources are low, it's kind of hard for us to get, you know, food and things of that nature right now. I thought it'd be kind of appropriate just to show you what you can do with some basic materials around the house if this is like a hobby of yours, or you're just getting started, or whatever. As I mentioned before, I would not use this exact setup as a permanent setup because the material in the pan is very thin. So eventually that will burn out. I can get some use out of it. I could probably do a few more fun projects with it, and I'd get some use out of it. But eventually it's gonna burn out, and it's too thin. But if you use something like that fire extinguisher I showed you earlier, or something like that, or you put some refractory cement in whatever you're going to use, you can get some good use out of it for a long time. It's just extra money and extra work. This is, like I said, this is just like the basic of the basic. It's a fan stand, basically, with the tubing from the fan itself just welded back onto that pan with some holes drilled in it. So I mean, it doesn't get much more simple than that. That worked out really well. I'm super happy that I was able to do that and show you guys how to put together your own charcoal forge. Also, if you're going to do something like this, it'd probably be a good idea to scrape the paint off of it first, because it smells like burnt paint now. It's probably not good for me to breathe, but maybe it'll kill corona. So alright guys, so as always, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Check me out on Instagram. I post a ton of crap on there all the time. I'm always following other blacksmiths. So if you're a blacksmith, you know, follow me back, share some tips. I'm an amateur, so I'm always looking to improve my skills, and I'm really liking the stuff that I'm seeing on Instagram. You can also check me out on Patreon. I don't think I have anything on there yet, but I'm looking for suggestions as to what I could put on there. So if there's something that you'd like to see, let me know, and I will gladly do that for like an exclusive Patreon patron members, you know. So that being said, again, thank you for watching. Stay safe out there. Please follow the advisories if you're told to stay indoors and whatnot. I'm in Florida, and I can't tell you how frustrating it is seeing all these young kids like just ignoring it and I'm gonna party for spring break. You know, I'm all about partying. I love to drink, but I feel old now, because I'm looking at these kids and I'm like, y'all need to go home. It's like, get off the beach, go home, go do something at home. You know, it's so it ruins your spring break for a year. The big picture of things is it's helping our medical systems not get bogged down by a million people with coronavirus. So, you know, do your part. That's all I can say, is don't be selfish. We all are in a rough time right now. I don't know if I'm going to have a job soon, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. The economy's not doing so well, but you all know this, so I didn't want to harp on about that in this video, so that's not what this is about. I just wanted to show you a basic way to build a basic forge when resources are low and you just want to do the job. So again, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.